Hello, and welcome to episode 81 of the Pos-cast with Rabbi Shmuel Posner and myself, Seth Hellman. Rabbi, how are we doing today?
Baruch Hashem, good. Baruch Hashem. I was at Berkeley just now and tabling, and I was sitting and talking to a student. He's reading Chumash. He started reading Chumash from the beginning, talking about Parsh Vayetze, about Yaakov and Esav. There was some girl walked by. I mean, a girl that I recognize who she is, and she says, "How are you?" She's Israeli. I said, "Good, Baruch Hashem," and she smiled and walked away. So I said to this kid, I said, when do you think the last time she heard somebody say Baruch Hashem? Like, that was it. That was the whole interaction was, how are you? Me saying Baruch Hashem, and she walked away. That's very important. Very important. Okay, what do we have for today? It's a hot day. It's hot.
It's weird. It's like really hot out.
Even in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I had to step outside to grab a package for my mom because she was in a meeting and the dog wouldn't stop barking. And so I opened up the front door and took that one step outside to grab the package and just kind of like hits you in the face. Like it's not humid out, but it's still, going from inside where the house is, holding in the temperature of it's been cold. And then all of a sudden, boom, you get hit in the face with it felt like it was 80 degrees out. It was insane.
Hashem runs the world. So, today is the day after the election. And the Jews are all excited. Well, the Jews. Some Jews are very excited. I think it's all messed up. It's all messed up. So I'm reading like looking at one of the Jewish websites, and they have, the president, like the third or fourth article, they say like there was missiles in Israel, that Hezbollah sent missiles. To me, that's the number one issue. Like if Jews are under attack in Israel, that's more. I understand for a secular news site, Israel's probably on page 97. But for a Jewish news site, that's the number one thing. That's what we're concerned about. Who the president is. Okay, this is better than that one. Whichever one you think is better than the other one. But it's not like, oh, everything is going to be fine now. Like, guys, don't be delusional. It's like, it's weird. It's just very weird. So somebody called me, one of our alum. He said, "Oh, you're so happy and excited." And I'm like, "Yeah, if you want to say it's good, I'm not gonna argue with you. But like, it doesn't solve all our problems and our main issue." And the main thing I said to him was, "Leiv melachim v'sarim b'yad Hashem." The hearts of kings and ministers are in the hands of Hashem. So whoever's in charge is a messenger from Hashem. So we daven that they should be a good messenger. He should do the right thing. Especially when you talk about a Gentile. And like a Jew has free choice. Gentile, we're not getting into the whole discussion about it, but pretty much doesn't. So they're there to do Hashem's will. If they do it, good. If not, not. We have to focus on the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that we have to be a channel for Hashem's bracha to come down. How it'll come to us? It'll come to us. If he'll be the messenger, the channel, or somebody else will be the channel. Yeah, because I can see if you feel this is better for the Jewish people, if you feel it's better for the country, you feel it's better for Eretz Yisrael, you can be happy, but calm down. Just calm down. We're not talking about like some amazing person that we know this person is. What we don't know is what will happen tomorrow. So just calm down, guys. Just chill out. And the Rebbe never endorsed the candidates. Talked about issues, that's along the lines I'm talking about. Whoever was the president, the Rebbe wanted that the president should do what's best according to what Hashem wants for the Jews and Lahavdil for the non-Jews, not just for the Jews. But I was watching. Somebody came to the Rebbe and asked the Rebbe if he should. He said, "I'm a Shomer Shabbos Jew. I want to run for Congress. Should I run for Congress?" And so the Rebbe said, "Yeah, for sure. Because you can have an effect on the Jewish people in Congress and on the non-Jews as well. So the Rebbe wasn't.
We're gonna get copyright strike to keep talking to make sure that it gets drowned out.
What Narishkeit is over here. I think it's all Hashem's plan. We should have this overview of music.
It's not baseball season. It's very much not. What inning do they play? An eighth inning,
Here's
seventh
a
inning? I don't think
question.
it's their seventh inning stretch. I have no idea when they do it at Fenway.
I don't understand how people do this.
Is
It's
it just
so
like someone
loud.
driving by?
It's so loud. How does a guy hear it? Besides, who says everybody in the street is interested in your music? You're so self-centered. Ugh. At Berkeley also, some guy had in his backpack like a speaker. So every time he walks by, he's like, and this is Berkeley, it's College of Music. You don't have to blast music there. Everybody's a musician. Just shut up. Anyway. So the Rebbe said, yeah, because you go to Congress, you can make, you have an effect on the Jews and non-Jews as well. So that was like, looked at every person as an opportunity to do more good and more good and more good and more good. And I sent you that video. You have it ready? I want to go to that video because this is another one of my
into the right spot, but yeah.
issues. I have issues.
You definitely have a lot of issues.
I have issues. I have issues with people. Here we go.
Das ist golden, das Foto von Ludwig.
That's all the features in New York.
Thank you very much.
They are under your guidance, your responsibility.
Pardon?
You have to control it.
Yes.
They are under your responsibility.
Yes.
And under your guidance.
But I'm taking this as a simon because the Rebbe knows I'm running for mayor.
Yeah.
So I take it as a simon
I
told.
don't know what is more important for New York. If you'll be a mayor or a controller.
So I'm not going to be a controller anymore,
Right?
because I'm running for mayor. So I can't be both.
I'm not speaking about both. I'm speaking about the control of all the affairs of New York.
Well, I think implicit in what the Rebbe has said,
Yes.
that as the mayor, I'll be able to continue to watch the controller, which is what I hope to do.
Who is now the boss of New York, the mayor or the controller?
Well, I think the mayor is more important. I used to think the controller was more important, not anymore. Not now that I'm running for mayor.
He's in fear of you.
I beg your pardon?
He's in fear of you.
He's afraid of you. Oh, the mayor?
Mayor.
I think he is.
And you control.
I think he is.
Yes.
I think he's afraid that I'm going to win.
Yeah, government knows what is better for New York. That is a deciding factor.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
You
Okay.
are in the beginning of preparing for the new
You can stop it.
year.
So this guy is the comptroller, and he's running for the mayor. So the Rebbe tells him for the whole New York. So he says, oh, since the Rebbe knows that I'm running for mayor, and you said it's for the whole New York, it must mean that you think I'm going to become the mayor. And the Rebbe says, no, you're the comptroller, so aren't you in charge of the whole New York? Then they have this little debate. Who's more important, the mayor or the comptroller? So he says, well, now I think comptroller is more important because that's who I am. But now, I think later, now I'm starting to think the mayor is more important because I want to be the mayor. And as Rebbe ended the conversation, Hashem, so he says, the mayor is afraid of the comptroller. And then the Rebbe ends the conversation by saying, Hashem will decide which one is better. This guy, when he heard that, you know what he should have done? End this campaign.
Mm.
when the Rebbe says that Hashem will decide which one is more important, dude, the Rebbe didn't give you a bracha to become mayor. He turned the whole thing upside down in your head. If I was looking for a bracha from the Rebbe to become the mayor, I would have walked down and said, guys, it's over. It's over. The Rebbe said the comptroller is more important than the mayor, and this guy's like arguing with the Rebbe. You stupid head. Why don't you listen? People come to the Rebbe and they talk. And you see, they're not even listening. You listen to the Rebbe saying and then you digest it later on. You see, a chassid goes to the Rebbe, you see hardly talks, minimal words. All these people who aren't revealed chassidim, everybody's a chassid internally. They come and they talk and they think they're talking to a regular person, so they play games with their words and this and that. But the Rebbe's words are exact. Like this guy I told you about who came to the Rebbe and asked Rebbe if he should run for Congress. And if I should, give me a bracha. The Rebbe goes on to talk to him about how important, he wanted to know if he should do it. Is it going to be good for the Jews or not? Kiddush Hashem, not a Kiddush Hashem. The Rebbe goes on to tell him how it would be amazing. He should be, it's a Kiddush Hashem. A Shomer Shabbos Jew in Congress would be great. But the one thing the Rebbe doesn't do is what? Doesn't give him a bracha. Guess what? This dude didn't make it to Congress. When you ask the Rebbe for a bracha, you have to know whatever happens, or you ask the Rebbe a question. Like I told you a story with Jonathan Sachs, Rabbi Olav Shalom. King, right?
Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs.
Yes, yeah, I'm asking you the whole thing. I have to be respectful, not nutty. So when he was become chief rabbi, he told his wife, "I want to ask the Rebbe," and she said, "Fine." But then he said to her, "If I ask the Rebbe, I got to do what he says. That's a chassid talking. You don't play games. The Rebbe says go, you go. It says not to go, not to go. If you don't want, don't ask. If you ask, woo." Got to be stupid not to listen. What are you thinking? The Rebbe's not just giving you a flippant answer. When you came over and asked the Rebbe, you know that I'm coming to mayor, therefore this. The Rebbe says, well, actually, I think controller is more important because the mayor is afraid of the controller. Now, you could argue, like, wait a second, the mayor is like, the mayor is the mayor. Go debate. There wasn't a debate. The Rebbe just made a statement that controller is more important because the mayor is afraid of him. And this guy's saying, I think the mayor is more important. Well, guess what? You lose your campaign. Goodbye. Next. Don't be a chacham. Don't be an ibra chacham. And if you watch all these candidates that come to the Rebbe looking for brachas, you'll see. If the Rebbe gives a straight out bracha, is one thing. If not, don't even bother. That's that. And I was like that with the Rebbe a lot of things. A lot of times people would try to force the Rebbe to give a bracha. Because if the Rebbe would say it, then they know what it says. Tzaddik Geyser, Kadosh Baruch Hu Makayim. When a tzaddik makes a decree, Hashem fulfills it. So people come to Rebbe, I want a bracha, I want a bracha, I want a bracha, I want a bracha. And they try to repeat it 5 times over. And if the Rebbe didn't give the bracha, okay. Go back to your davening or do whatever you're going to do, but who knows what's going to happen. You don't. That guarantee you thought you'd get because the Rebbe's giving you bracha. Well, he didn't give you the bracha. You don't have the guarantee. I'm not saying everything's lost, but yeah. This morning, my friend Rabbi Eli told me the story with the great uncle of my cousin. He married my cousin. It's based on a mimer. The Rebbe Rashab was in this guy who married my cousin. So it's his great uncle. No, not relation to me because he married my cousin. Okay. His father's uncle. It's not hard. So the Rebbe, because he was teaching this mimer this morning at 8:00 in the morning, the rabbi from Cornell, and it's a reminder that the Rebbe Rashab said when he was in Germany. He's in Germany for 11 months for some kind of physical health issues. And so he's staying in this person's house. His name is Philip Wolf. And the guy he's a very rich man. He had a big house. So he moved out of the house to move into a smaller house. He had a guest house, a side house. And gave the Rebbe Rashab and the Frierdiker Rebbe to live in his house. So at the end, the Rabbi Shab said, ask me for a bracha. If you need something, I'll bless you. So he said, I don't need anything. I'm doing very well. The only thing is I don't have any children. So the Rabbi Shab said, tomorrow night, prepare a fish dinner for me and and when I'm eating, stand in the doorway. It's like when Avram, in next week's parsha, Sarah was standing in the doorway when they told her about when the angel gave the bracha for having a child. So he's standing there, And Rebbe Rashab said, I don't see any possibility in this city that you're living right now that you'd have a child. He said, fine, I'll move. What do I'm living here in a big, rich house with no children. I'll move to have a child. So Rebbe Rashab said, this was in Elul. He said, next Rosh Hashanah, meaning in not a month from now, in 13 months, your wife will give birth to a boy while I'm blowing shofar. And that's what happened. That's the bracha from a Rebbe. When he tells you, boom, boom, you can count on it. Anyway, that's about the Rebbe. So now the same thing goes with these elections. Like, oh, Trump went to the Rebbe to the oil and da-da-da-da. Okay, it's very nice. It's good. Does that mean every single candidate that goes to the oil is going to win? Doesn't mean anything. It means, of course, it's a good thing to go to the oil, but don't make things, don't belittle things, and don't over exaggerate things. Anyway, enough with that. So we're standing, like many weeks, we had 9 people for Minyan. So we're waiting for the 10th guy to come. I assumed he was going to come. He actually did come. But while we're waiting, I was standing outside with Yisrael on the steps. We're both wearing our talesim, and we're seeing if we can catch a Jew walking by. And we're on the top of the steps, and this guy walks by, looks like college age, I don't know, about that age. And he turns to us and he starts walking. He puts his foot on the step to come up. He says, oh, you want me to put on tefillin? I'll come put on tefillin. And we're like,
that's awesome. Perfect timing. You always want to get the guy to rap, and then the one time during the week that you can't, he's like, hey.
So he said to him, we don't put on tefillin on Shabbos. Then I said, you know what? For the 5 minutes it'll take you to put on tefillin, come in, we need a minyan. The guy said, no, I can't, I'm in a rush. I want to say, look, what are you saying you're in a rush? What kind of bubmice is that? You said you want to put on tefillin. How long does it take to put on tefillin? I'm exchanging, whatever. It's very funny. Very funny. So later I was talking about this at the lunch, Shabbos. How amazing it is. You see 2, obviously rabbis, standing on the steps of a Chabad house. You automatically, without even waiting for them to ask, they want you to put on tefillin. We didn't ask, we didn't have tefillin in our hands, we're in a talis. So it shows that this guy is so clueless that he says wearing talesim, that has nothing to do with, and it's Shabbos. He has no concept, he doesn't know that you don't wear tefillin on Shabbos. That's how clueless he is. Nonetheless, what he does know is if you see a Chabad rabbi, he wants you to put on tefillin. That's incredible. That's so amazing. It's so beautiful. So then, so the question is this, the guy knows that Chabad wants you to put on tefillin, but he doesn't know what that Shabbos don't wear tefillin. That's really sad. So there, I think I mentioned this previously also, but it says that the Jewish people are like pomegranate. It says, it's based on a Pos-cast in Shir Shim. So it goes like this, that even the empty ones amongst you are full of mitzvahs like a pomegranate. So a man came to the Rebbe and said, how can you say, if they're empty, how can you say they're full of mitzvahs? Doesn't make sense. The most empty one of the Jews, the lowest of Jews, is full of mitzvahs. If he's the lowest of Jews, he's not full of mitzvahs. The Rebbe said, I have the same question. If he's full of mitzvahs, how can you call him the lowest of Jews? So this guy's saying, it's impossible he has mitzvahs if he's lowest of Jews. The Rebbe is saying, no, he's full. Every Jew is full of mitzvahs. The question is, how come he's the Chazal, the Gemara calls him the lowest? There's anything over here. Why the guy doesn't know that you don't put on tefillin on Shabbos? Okay, probably a lot of Jews don't know you don't put on tefillin on Shabbos. But the fact that he knows when he sees Chabad that he should be putting on tefillin, that's like an amazing thing. That's something like, whoa, that's incredible. That's fantastic. So that's what happened on Shabbos. What else do we have to talk about today? we have to talk about Avram Avinu, the first one that did a mitzvah by the command of Hashem. Tonight we're actually having this a new little twist on the Jewish youth thing. So it's called Campus Yeshiva. Campus Yeshiva Night. So, and we're doing it together with Northeastern. So, and we're expecting Beli Ayin Hara. I'll give you the report next week. About 20 kids to come. Half from Northeastern, half from BU.
That's what happens when you offer like dinner. We never got such pleasantries.
The dinner is like a side thing. The dinner, and so the question was, should you get dinner before we learn or after they learn? And so we decided, no. Once they get the food, they're not going to concentrate. Let them learn first, then feed them.
7:30 is a little bit late, though. If you're making them learn first,
I suggest to have a shtickle snack lying around in case people are really hungry.
7:30 is late. You got to remember too, like the kids that are eating the kosher food at BU, that dining hall is only open from 5 to 7, so your body gets conditioned to be eating dinner earlier than normal. When I'm home, I eat dinner at 7, but when I was at school, we were eating dinner closer to 5 because we just went when the dining hall was open.
I don't think these kids that are coming are BU dining hall kids. Just saying. Just saying.
It's good. I'm sure Zev will like it because he can eat dinner at the dining hall and then get second dinner.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's living off campus, so I don't know if he's actually using the dining hall.
Anybody who's eating dinner at 5 o'clock is ready for another dinner at 7:30, especially your college kid. You ever saw a college kid that wasn't hungry? No such thing. They're always given food. They're always ready to eat food. So what we're going to learn tonight is this whole idea of Avram. Why did Avram wait till Hashem told him to do the bris and didn't do it earlier? Because it says that Avram Avinu and all the patriarchs kept the Torah before it was given. So why did Avram wait till later on to wait till Hashem, until he's 99 years old, till Hashem commanded him to do it? So that gets into the difference in mitzvahs that happened before the Torah was given and after the Torah was given. The mitzvot that were given before, even though they were keeping the mitzvahs, it didn't affect the world. Like, things didn't become holy. There's nothing that Avram did that has made that the object became holy. It was almost like the object, if you used objects, it was only like a way to focus the energy in a certain direction. But it didn't make, like, now you take a big piece of parchment, you write Shema Yisrael, it becomes a mezuzah, then it has holiness in it. You have to treat it a certain way. But that didn't exist before the Torah was given. We take it for granted that every mitzvah you do. Think about other people who aren't Jewish. They don't think about, like, if you use a certain thing, it all of a sudden becomes holy. You can't throw it on the floor. No, it's like whatever. It is what it is. But us, we have this idea of objects becoming holy. Tefillin, Sefer Torah, tzitzis. Like, you have to treat them with respect because you use them once for a mitzvah, or because they have something written on them that makes them holy. That was a post-Matan Torah situation. But since Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are the patriarchs, are the Avos, so they have to set the tone in some way. So therefore, Hashem gave one mitzvah to Avram that's mamash in the physical, and literally physically in his flesh. But so that's why if you look into all of Chumash Bereshis, that's the only mitzvah they actually Hashem gave to them. Okay, by Yaakov Gira Nasha, but over there wasn't a mitzvah that wasn't like do something. It was like don't eat the sciatic nerve, whatever. But here, to actually physically take something and make it and imbue with a sense of holiness in the physical thing itself. And it's because they are the forebears of what happens later on, there has to be something that they did also in the physical world to set the tone that this can later be expressed in the world. Because that's the saying, Maisa of a similar banim. The things the patriarchs did is a sign for what's going to happen later on. Like we're going to learn that when Avram goes down to Mitzrayim, the sixth parsha, what happens? Sarah gets taken captive. So, this is like the micro of the macro of the Jews going to Mitzrayim. And because nothing happened to Sarah, the Jews will be safe in Mitzrayim. So that's like the small expression what's going to happen in a much greater way. The micro, what's going to happen later in the macro. Okay. So saying also in the mitzvahs, there had to be a one mitzvah at least that they would do in the physical before the Torah was given. And so in that way, we can understand that the Avos and even though they did that one detail of doing things, everything in the physical world, that had to wait till the Matan Torah. The world wasn't ready for that. But setting the tone of how the Jews would relate to Hashem, like Rebbe writes in Tanya, that the love for Hashem is embedded in every single Jew's neshama. It's an inheritance from Hashem, from Avram. Sorry, it's an inheritance from Avram because Avram had such love for Hashem. Therefore, it's also expressed down to every single Jew afterwards. So the love and fear of Hashem we get from Avram and Yaakov. But the actual mitzvahs that we don't do because Avram did it. Even circumcision, we don't do it, even though called the covenant of Avram, but we do it because Hashem commanded us after the Torah was given. So we're getting the energy of what Avram did. He did it like 99 years old. It was such a big deal that he did it. But the actual performance of the mitzvah is because Hashem commanded us to do it. When did Hashem command us to do it? He commanded us in the Torah. After the Torah was given on Matan Torah at Mount Sinai. In that way, we have the ability to bring godliness into the physical world. And that's it. That's the message for today. The message is that we have to know that we are in the hands of Hashem. Don't get swayed by what's swirling around the world, for better or for good or for better. Stay focused. Just stay focused on what has to happen. What has to happen is Hashem has to make things good for the Jewish people. The world will be healed through Hashem. So we should daven more, do more mitzvahs, and not go dancing around like, oh, he's the president, she's the president, whatever, whoever, whatever. That's all a sideshow. We have to do our little bit to create a channel. Create the channel, Hashem will take the rest of it. And how do we do that? By doing actual mitzvahs. By doing actual mitzvahs, we bring godliness into the world, make the world a more godly place. And that affects everybody. Everybody in the world. You do any mitzvah anywhere, there's a little more godliness in the world. Every mitzvah that you do makes the world a better place, brings Hashem into the world, and ultimately, when Hashem will finally rip away the veil that conceals godliness, the effect of our mitzvahs, which is right there under the surface, just got to pull back the curtain, boom, Mashiach now.
Amen. And with that, thank you so much for listening to episode 81 of the Pos-cast with Rabbi Shmuel Posner. We will see you next week.